I'll be your evil doppelganger.
Jermaine, you're the best!
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 kids shows that were ahead of their time.
Hi, neighbor. Didn't bring anything in my hands, but I brought an idea in my head.
For this list, we'll be looking at the best children's shows with surprisingly progressive storylines or goals. What are some kids shows you loved that felt ahead of their time? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, The Proud Family. Disney Channel started their original animation slate out strong with this exaggerated slice of life series about a black suburban family.
What I'm about to show you, I want you to tell everybody. I've been downloading. Ooh, give me all the detail. Music, silly.
While most episodes told the day-to-day life of 14-year-old Penny Proud dealing with everything from spelling bees to internet piracy, the series would occasionally get creative to teach its viewers about black culture and history.
Well, like my mama used to tell me, Miss Proud, a person who doesn't understand his past won't have a future.
I Had a Dream puts a time travel spin on Black History Month, sending its protagonist back to the days of segregation, while 7 Days of Kwanzaa saw the Prouds visited by a family who were unhoused, who taught them about the importance of the title holiday. Though imperfect in its execution, the show has also been praised for its positive post-9/11 portrayal of Muslims in culture shock.
Well, you know what they say. When in Rome, do as the Romans. And since you're fasting, so am I.
Number 9, Recess. With the ring of a bell, the kids of 3rd Street Elementary were freed from the confines of their stuffy classrooms and unleashed into a society of their own making, known as Recess.
On your marks, get set.
Although the Ashleys and Irwin sometimes stood in the way of their fun, the 4th grade protagonists often used this temporary freedom to carve out their own identities and better understand themselves and the world around them.
May I be excused?
From here, yes. By society, I sincerely doubt it.
Ironically though, the show's most progressive scenes typically happened inside the schoolhouse. In class, Miss Grotke taught her students the truth about Thanksgiving and urged them to question the biases of the white men who dominated history books.
Now remember, class, please take this new history book with a grain of salt, since it focuses primarily on the history of white Western males.
If only everyone could get such an honest education. Number 8, Kim Possible. If you were a girl who loved action-packed shows with feminine flair, the 2000s were a great time to grow up. Shows like The Powerpuff Girls, Totally Spies, and Winx Club showed that girls could save the day just as well as the boys could. Of course, our favourite of the bunch was always Kim Possible.
It worked! It worked!
We did it, Justine.
Like its contemporaries, Kim Possible's protagonist wasn't afraid to be both feminine and strong, often juggling her roles as a cheerleader and a crime fighter. What set the show apart was its overarching plots, will they won't they romance, and occasionally feature-length adventures.
Hey, Ron. Hi.
Hey, pull up a chair, Eric. Why don't you join us? Well, isn't that interesting?
It was a children's show, but it took its characters and its audience seriously, and was all the better for it.
Nice outfit. Nice apron.
Number 7, The Magic School Bus. Whether the class was surfing on a sound wave or swinging through the stars, audiences knew they were always down for a unique adventure with Ms. Frizzle.
Seatbelts, everyone! Please let this be a normal field trip.
Voiced by actress and comedian Lily Tomlin, the Frizz's field trips were as thrilling as they were educational, teaching her students and the kids at home about the exciting world of science.
Oh, Liz and I can't wait to show you all the stars we can see out here. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Although the scenarios in the show were often fantastical, all of the science showcased was entirely fact-based, fostering a love for the subject in its young audience. Its woman-led cast was an added bonus, subtly encouraging girls to pursue typically male-dominated STEM fields of study and occupations.
It's amazing that wind, water, and heat can make such a huge storm. And those same ingredients can also make a beautiful sunny day.
Number 6, Athur. Understanding the people you share the Earth with is just as important as understanding Earth itself, a fact which Athur took to heart.
Every day when you're walking down the street, everybody that you meet as an original point of view.
Having aired for 25 seasons, the series is the longest-running children's animated series in US history, and it continued to break boundaries throughout that over 2-decade-long run on PBS. It raised awareness for diseases such as diabetes, asthma, and cancer, and helped kids and parents alike better understand how to accommodate those with autism and dyslexia.
Wow, is he a genius?
Sort of, but he has a lot of trouble being around other people.
Why?
His brain just works differently.
As early as 2005, the show's spin-off Postcards from Buster even showcased 2 real-life lesbian parents. The episode was unfortunately banned in most US states, but that didn't stop Athur from featuring a groundbreaking gay wedding in its 22nd season.
This is the best cake I've ever had.
Number 5. Captain Planet and the Planeteers. This unique superhero show has a legacy that far outran its time on air.
We have to make it over the mud trap first.
But there is no
Water!
Captain Planet and the Planeteers taught kids how to care for their environment and encouraged them to get others to do the same. And its activism didn't end at telling kids to pick up litter and use paper instead of plastic. The show discussed the negative effects of everything from deforestation and poaching to radiation and air pollution.
Move aside, make way for the future. There will be no future for our forest if the tree of life dies.
In real life, the show promoted eco-friendly toys and set up a charity foundation that continues to inspire kids to come up with solutions to environmental problems to this day.
Thanks, Captain Planet.
Don't thank me. The real hero's Mati. With brave Planeteers like you, the Earth will always be safe from harm.
Number 4. Braceface. Sharon Spitz's mega embarrassing electromagnetic braces served as the quirky draw to Braceface, but underneath that over-the-top premise was a kind-hearted show about being a teen girl in the 2000s.
I wanted to fit in, not stand out.
Topics like menstruation and divorce were dealt with in ways that simultaneously entertained and comforted the show's young audience members, while recurring character Dion acted as an early example of gay representation on kids' TV.
Dion's more moi, don't you think? An homage to Celine.
For the 2000s, the show was surprisingly progressive in a way that was always easy to digest and relate to. And it didn't hurt that the lead role was performed by Clueless's Alicia Silverstone.
Ew! Get off of me! Ugh, as if.
Number 3. Adventure Time. 2010 was the start of a new era for Cartoon Network, one that would become most prominently associated with Adventure Time.
Adventure time! Come on, grab your friends, we'll go to very distant lands.
The surreal fantasy series followed human boy Finn and his dog friend Jake on a series of largely episodic adventures, which slowly began to reveal more about the show's world and the eclectic cast of characters.
That is excellent news. I mean, here, take this, please. It's not much, but it's all we have. It's a bag of lollies.
From the very beginning of its run, it challenged traditional ideas of gender and sexuality, particularly through the character of Princess Bubblegum, who studied science and had a relationship with Marceline, the vampire queen.
Girl, you phrased that so weird.
I might have a concussion.
Even Finn kissing a frog prince was treated as a norm in the land of Ooh, teaching Adventure Time's young audience to embrace those that did not fit within societal norms. Number 2. Reading Rainbow. If you grew up in the 80s, 90s or 2000s, you probably watched Reading Rainbow at least once.
When the going gets tough, this family really gets going with some extremely delicious results.
Hosted by LeVar Burton, the series strove to foster a love of reading in children across America. A typical episode usually featured a celebrity guest who would read from a children's picture book, as simplistic animations of its illustrations brought its story to life on screen. In order to help kids better analyze and understand the literature they were reading, the show then featured tie-in segments to the episode's focal book, exploring real-life locations and stories that related to its themes.
Escaping slaves sang a song about those stars that led them to freedom. A song called Follow the Drinking Gourd.
It made a big impact on us and plenty of other kids across the nation, winning over 200 awards in its 23 years on air.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, Reading Rainbow.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Bill Nye the Science Guy. This show made science fun and had a catchy theme song to boot.
Do you realize that every living thing on Earth has been changing for the last 3 billion years?
Steven Universe, a major step forward in LGBTQIA+ representation in children's animation.
I know this is all kind of silly. I mean, we've been together for 5,750 years.
And 8 months.
Hey Arnold, stories about classism, ageism, and even immigration made us kinder people.
So, it's almost Christmas time.
Yes, this time of year always make me remember.
Remember what?
Clarissa explains it all. Nickelodeon's first female-fronted series smashed stereotypes about teen girls.
Well, I better start sharpening those reporter skills, because I'm about to get my first real reporter assignment. Clarissa M. Darling here, card-carrying member of the Daily Dispatch.
Pepper Ann taught us about cultural appropriation, striking, and androgyny.
It was awful. I just wanted them to listen to me, to get them to understand what's at stake here, but they didn't even care.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Of all the shows that have felt ahead of their time, few have felt quite as revolutionary as Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor, would you be mine?
At a time when children's television was more about selling toys than education or even entertainment, Fred Rogers devised a series that focused on soft-spoken kindness and conflict resolution. Beginning its run in the midst of integration, Mr. Rogers existed at the same time as some pretty violent racist ideology. Its host challenged those ideas on screen by having pleasant conversations with co-star Francois Clemens as the pair soaked their feet in a pool together.
Thank you. How you doing? Fine. How are you today? Fine. My feet were tired, so I thought I'd just soak them for a while in this water.
Seemingly small, but still significant. Gestures such as this made up the heart of Mr. Rogers and changed the way we viewed kids' TV forever.
Yeah, this is my friend Jeff Erlinger. He's one of my neighbors here, and I asked him if he would come by today.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.